previously on the Wild Beyond the Witchlight. Every 8 years, the Witchlight Carnival appears in this world, attracting the attention of many with its whimsical charm and dazzling lights. For some, their experiences here are replete with joy and euphoria, beguiled by wondrous spectacle and resplendent sights. But for many others, the carnival takes more than it gives, as something of great value is often lost here. The sort of thing that simply can't be replaced, and renders one forlorn and incomplete. Such is the fate of those who enter the carnival without a ticket. This story follows 4 souls who have sadly fallen victim to said fate, each one of them losing something of value during their last visit. The years since have presented many challenges, but these souls eventually found each other, and then found themselves journeying to the site of the next Witchlight Carnival. Approaching the front desk in anticipation, the party was surprised to find that their tickets had been purchased by an unknown benefactor. Any questions pertaining to said benefactor were met with stern defiance. Deciding to drop the subject, the party proceeded to see what the carnival had to offer. After taking a moment to appreciate the splendour of their surroundings, some members of the party decided to go on a couple of rides, partially for pleasure, but mostly to gather information about their surroundings from those they interacted with and overheard, so they can make headway on regaining that which was lost. Whilst Victor and Miko were riding the dragonflies, Pixie caught sight of suspicious Kenku and decided to give chase, but was unfortunately distracted by a flying foxy friend whom she had pursued since the carnival arrived. Fortunately, an explosion a short time later allowed the group to pick up the trail and corner the creature, who quickly identified themselves as Kettlesteam, a saboteur with an axe to grind with the carnival's owners and seek to steal Mr. Witch's pocket watch, hopefully with the party's help. So join us now as we explore the wild beyond the Witchlights. Okay, and here we are, back with more of this. There we go. This was this was hidden for.
You're talking. You forgot to press the finger. Yet.
Oh yeah, push to talk. Hi.
Oh god. Oh. You're gonna do this constantly, aren't you?
Amateur hour up in here.
I've never claimed to be anything else. That's the thing.
There's a little bit of silence just then instantly just think, oh god.
The AI that is Bug's face hasn't recognized when he's speaking yet.
In my defense, I did this just so that I don't have to mute it in Streamlabs and accidentally miss out 6 minutes of the stream again, like I did last time. So yeah, you know, lesser to evils, and you know, if I'm talking less, maybe that might be a blessing too. I mean, Sky, look at us. We're doing, like, you know, like Pete's over here is stretching, and I'm not stretching, so therefore we can't be the same person.
Nah, that's clear. That's clearly a puppet on strings.
Yes.
I won't say which one.
I mean,
what do you see when you're looking at me?
Yeah. No one's ever going to believe that I'm actually a real person. Not sure which
one.
Was that a Chitty Bang Bang reference?
Yes, that was a Chitty Bang Bang reference.
I didn't get
that. That, yeah.
Anyway,
you got that.
Anyway, we are going off on a bit of a tangent, so let's get started with the session. So, intro covered some of it, but what's going on, DMPT?
Well, at the moment I'm incredibly hot because it's warm in this room, so bear with me. But last when we were here, you guys had managed to corner Kettlesteam, the Kenku, and you had been talking with her, and she had propositioned you with helping her steal Mr. Witch's pocket watch.
Glad I got that right, because I wasn't sure if it was Mr. Light's pocket watch. I had a 50-50 chance of being right.
You did. If worst case scenario, I could have swapped them around.
Fair enough.
So, Kettlestim has just mentioned that she wants your help. How do you react?
Didn't Victor already commit us?
Victor kind of was interested in offering help on the precondition that Kettlesteam answered our questions first, so I suppose really with that being the case, Victor will look around to his compatriots. I think Pixie made herself known, didn't she, last time?
Yes, she spooked after pickpocketing Kenku.
Alright, okay, in that case, Victor's going to turn to the... kind of going to look at Kettlesteam and just goes, oh, aye, well, thinking big, aren't we? Stealing the pocket watch from the bloody owner. Well, you know how to make an impact. Well, can't really say I've got much objections. Don't reckon we're really going to make much progress around here. However, before we do commit, I'll just ask my business partners here. Any of you got any questions for them?
What's in it for us, my favourite friend?
She looks around each of you, tilting her head slightly. Something with you is amiss. Have you all been here before?
I did as a child.
Honestly, I was actually thinking of asking you the same thing. Have you been here before?
Have any of us really been here before? Looking mystical.
Yes. Yes, Edward, we have all, in fact, been here before.
But where is here?
It's the Witchlight Carnival.
Victor just looks at the sky and the surroundings and just kind of motions around in a 360 pose.
Kenku just pinches the bridge of her nose and just goes,
So sorry, my friend. Yeah, sometimes kind of have to spell things out for that one. Right, but despite the chicanery, we've got some.
Have you noticed a little frog girl or a shadow or sometimes someone in a pig mask going around the stalls?
Well, I mentioned someone with a pig mask earlier. Yeah, after I was talking to someone, noticed he didn't have any wings on. Kind of, someone in a pig mask kind of poked out from the shadows and had a look. Kind of caught my attention. Didn't really expect anyone to be peering from there, but you mentioned that they kind of follow people around, right?
Whoever they follow later often finds something missing.
Alright, well...
I don't know why, and I don't... Well...
They steal.
I don't know where they go.
They steal things from these people.
They are colleagues.
Actually, I just
Yes,
noticed...
let you meet them. Vic.
They're
well,
not
look,
my colleagues, no.
actually, I just noticed something. You didn't answer my question. Have you been here before?
I have.
How
I
long?
used here to travel to Presmere, which is where I made my pact. Though as part of my pact, I'm unable to return.
What's Prismere?
It is a land of the Fae. This carnival is linked to it, as are the carnival owners. They too have some form of pact, I believe, much like myself, but I have not been able to get anything worthwhile out of them, as to why I cannot contact my patron.
How much do you know about the carnival owners, by the way?
Only bits and pieces. Wait a second. A particular note right there.
She opens a book.
I asked the wrong thing.
You mean you asked the right thing?
Maybe. Maybe. As long as it isn't like the red book of, painful ways that I'll die if I ask the wrong question, I think we'll be okay.
Can you repeat the question?
Not this again.
If you're being sincere, just asking, what Cattle Steam knows about the carnival owners.
I know that the owners are not the original owners.
You absolutely sure that these two are the ones you got an issue with, then?
They're the ones that are holding something back from me. So I have an issue with them.
Alright. Say no more.
So, what did they take from you?
Nothing's been taken from me.
Are you sure?
Quite.
Oh, if you think so.
She looks down at herself, just wondering now, am I missing something?
Aye. Well, honestly, I was just waiting for little Pixie to finish asking a question, and then motioning to my compatriots to ask if they've got any questions. Since we're all going to be partners and all. Kind of turning to Miko and Edward as he says this.
Why are we stealing from them? Stealing is wrong.
If we take the watch, it'll disrupt things. If it disrupts things, it causes problems. If it causes problems, we have leverage. We can get answers.
What kind of problems?
But no more hurting my foxes.
Yeah, she's
No
pretty
hurting
attached.
my fox.
She's pretty attached to him. I can vouch for her now.
She thinks for a moment. Fine. The foxes are safe, but the horses are free game.
Didn't say horse, I said fox. Fox, be safe.
Foxes are safe then.
Yeah. Well, sometimes the demands are quite straightforward like that. Sometimes they're a little bit more specific. But you got lucky today. It seems that she kind of wants something rather straightforward. Well, I suppose if it ain't obvious, we're interested in partnering with you. And you've been forthcoming with all of my questions. I suppose it's only fair that I ask, do you have any for us? I guess it kind of leads forward to the king.
Do you have any favors that you are owed?
Any favors? Gonna have to be a smidge more specific.
Well, have you done anything yet, and someone has said that they owe you?
Ah, well, as a matter of fact, yeah, a dwarf earlier on. Kinda almost had a nasty fall. Kinda dragged him back. Actually, that's the fellow I saw being followed by the one in the pig mask. Reckon he's still about.
She was the one. She saw it. Vic.
Ah, sorry,
Told
love.
you, her face scared the dragonfly.
Oh, he was the one on the dragonfly. Yeah, his name was Bizbuzz.
Well, Dragonfly's
What
name
was
was...
called Bizbuzz.
The dragonfly. It was a little mean.
Yeah, less said about that one, Miko, the better, but point being is, yeah, there's a dwarf that might be able to help us out. He seemed a little bit shady, though, from, say, some Waterdeep. Seemed pretty cagey when I tried to ask him some questions.
He tried to sell you that Waterdeep paper?
No, I heard that's a scam.
Good. Yeah. Some people do fall for that, though.
Like, what did they do? Is just like a bag of grain or something?
Like a grain, like a flower, like a leaves. I did sell a bag of coffee once, same as water-deep paper. Got 100 gold.
I have no idea who started that, but they're either
Whoever
a
it was, they were a genius.
either a moron or a mad genius, truly. But anyway, I feel we're kind of deviating from the point somewhat.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
not
I
too
don't.
sure if this dwarf might really be able to help you. It wasn't exactly what I'd hoped for in mind.
Well, what do you want? I mean, just because we don't have many favors right now, don't mean that we can't get some. I can be quite persuasive when I want to be.
We'll need you to be able to get an audience with Mr. Witch, preferably whilst he's by himself.
As a matter of fact,
Well, the swan, didn't they want someone sent?
yeah, I was about to mention that. Swan on the lake ride by the name of Featherine. Yeah, they mentioned that they wanted to speak to the bodyguards.
No. Mentioned about the mime. The
Yeah.
nosebleed one.
Yeah, you mentioned mine, but they enjoyed debating with Mr. Witch's bodyguards, as I recall. Kind of asked to send them their way. So, I mean, from what I remember, they said that they sometimes hang around the staff room, sometimes with Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, but sometimes can just be wandering around. Maybe we tried to wait for a moment when they're kind of separate from them and we have a little chat. Maybe see if we can make friends.
Well, the best time, if you wanted to have a chat, would probably be during the Big Trop Extravaganza.
Oh, and when's that?
It is in 1 hour. Mr. Witch and Mr. Light are normally together all the time. However, Mr. Light likes to perform at the Big Top Extravaganza. Mr.
Aye.
Witch stays behind.
He likes to perform, you say?
He does indeed.
Would he be willing to have... Does he like a bit of friendly competition?
Oh, yes.
Aye, well, you're in luck. I happen to be a performer. And if I do say so myself, I was part of the Castle acting troupe. I'm sure you've heard of them.
He tilts a head to the side. Never heard of him.
He was very good.
Pig's
Really
still on
funny.
board of this conversation and has flown off.
Fair enough.
She's looking up the stands close by.
Aye. Well, if I noticed a little Pix over here is getting bored, though, that's usually the cue that conversation's kind of run its course.
Fly?
Well, what she can? Yeah, of course she can. What? She's been
Those
flying.
actual wings?
She's been flying the entire time. Have you not?
Oh, I thought you were just sending out a box.
No,
Dark.
no. She can fly. Kind of comes in use or more often than not.
Actually, that will be very useful. I can't get into the staff area. It's surrounded by a wall of thorns. It's about 20 foot high.
How far
However, if she can just fly over it.
is Pixie physically still in earshot? By the way, Pixie, or is she flown off?
Well, we were behind some stands there, and she's going off to the front, so a little more on the steam where people might be. So, in the general vicinity, yes. And if you call for her, she'll probably hear, but she won't listen to the conversation right now.
Fair enough. Okay, so in that case, Victor will kind of just crane his neck up a bit. Just go, "Oi, Pix! Sounds like we might actually have something for you to do. That's not just faffing about with foxes."
He gets a very dirty look.
I'm sorry, Pix. I just calls it as I sees it. Aye.
Yeah, you do. I know.
I
What to do?
new friend here. What you say? It was like a wall of thorns, about 20 foot high.
Yes. I'll be able to show you where it is quite easily. She starts to move towards the streets, stops briefly, touches her chest, and she casts disguise self and turns into a dwarf. Do you want to just follow me?
Aye, lead the way. With that, Vic.
Circumstances that we're trying to be discreet, so she's walking.
Victor will follow qoXDoom unless any of the others has anything to say or do first.
No.
You make your way through the crowds. You notice some people are starting to gather near the big top, but it's still just... No one's actually going in, they're just gathering around outside of it as if they're anticipating something. And you continue past where the big top is around the side to these trees around here I'm marking.
So around the area where the foxes and horses were?
Correct.
Camera's only going up to him on, but... No.
You continue past the foxes and
Well,
Captain
they
Steam
continue past
gives
the
them a
fox-
wide berth. And you make
Okay.
your way
Victor,
further.
you probably have to pick Pixie up and take her.
Lil Pix, come on, this isn't the time to sightsee. Kind of like, does Pixie try to resist when Victor kind of like moves all along?
Not really. She lost focus on going somewhere. It's been too long. So
Fair enough.
Oh, Foxy.
Yeah, sort of like Victor would just try to push Pixie along like a distracted child.
You make your way to what is a circular wall of thorns. Looking at it, it's around 5 foot deep and goes up 20 feet. The thorns seem to be moving slightly continually. And through them you catch glimpses of painted wagons.
How did they get this bush to grow so high?
Like most things, it's magic.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Be careful about getting stuck inside of it, though. I wouldn't advise it.
I shouldn't be any problem for Pix. Can go right over it.
Maybe.
Like, if the thorns are magic, dude, won't they like just be able to stop that?
Well, I mean,
I feel like trying to gesture like a thorn coming up something and.
well, I mean, my little Pix is pretty nimble. She should be able to kind of outpace any plants, I imagine.
Question for the DM. Are there trees or are those just in the picture?
There are some trees that were already there, which didn't move when the rest of the things moved.
Alright. So Pixie will fly up, but staying close to one of the trees.
Okie dokie.
And trying to fly to the top of one of the trees to get a view down.
Roll perception with an advantage. Okie dokie. From your perch, you can see a collection of different coloured. But I forgot the name of the word. What they are now? Carts?
Wagons?
Yeah, let's go carts. Wagons. There we go, it's better. A collection of different coloured wagons. There are a handful of witch-like hands moving around, moving bits and pieces, some going into the back of the big top, others sitting around and talking. 2 in particular catch your eye. By the white and red cart, there is a clown sat outside with a bubble pipe. And a little bit further along by the blue one, there is a large furry person with a pumpkin on his head.
Winged?
Say again?
Is it a winged person?
They each have wings strapped to their back, as most carnival workers do.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Like, personal wings or...
Not personal. None of them are pixies.
Yeah. Pixie's gonna try... I'm not sure she can do this, but she's gonna try to feel if there's anything above the wall of thorns that would block her flying over. Like, don't know if she can do that. She has kind of inherent magic in flying, but I'm not sure if there's anything she can do to basically reach out, see if there's some invisible wall.
Given you don't have anything that's innately magic, I would say roll nature. Okay.
Nice.
I think that will do.
You get a bit of a feeling that if you fly too close to these fawns, they may try to reach up. You can't necessarily tell how far that reach is going to be. Even with a nat 20, given you've got no preconception.
Okay, I'm looking something like 5-10 meters above it. I'm guessing that's not too close, but okay. I don't sense anything that would be an inherent like a wall. That's what I was mostly asking.
If that could be what, sorry?
Something like a wall, something that would suddenly cause me to fall instead of fly.
You have no reason to believe there's an invisible wall.
In that case, Pixie is going to fly a little higher above the tree, like doing this little spiral up, and see if she can get, still trying to stay above some tree so that if she were to fall, she'd fall on the tree, not into the thorns.
Okay.
Trying to see if she can get over the camp.
As you
Thank
fly
you.
up, you see the vines start to grow up slightly. They reach 5 feet, then 10 feet, and then they seem to stop there.
Called
Yeah.
it, dude.
What's the matter?
Call it.
3 times that in meters? I was saying 5 to 10 meters above that.
5 to 10 meters, yeah. So it's 30 feet high in that
30
particular
feet.
spot at the moment.
She's about 30 feet above, so I know she's pretty high up to see anything, but trying to glance down if there's any reaction to the wall ground.
The clown seems to be quite preoccupied with his bubbles as he's blowing out of his pipe. The more third one has his nose in a book. The other hands generally just seem preoccupied with what they're already doing. When the fawns grew, they didn't make any kind of noise, so...
In that case, trying to fly across the camp from one tree to the next. So,
You
like,
take off and
picking a
start
tree
to
on the other side.
fly. The fawns do not grow any higher. You cover over the top of them, and then you're above the camp.
Just flying over to another tree, seeing what happens.
Over then the exterior, the fawns trying to meet your approximate position. Nothing else.
In that case, doing that, like, she'll dart between any of the trees for a little bit, staying well above the line of how they were growing, and then come back to the group.
You flutter back down, the Kenku is watching you closely.
Well,
If you go back over there during the Big Top extravaganza, you might stand a good chance of being able to get the pocket watch. However, you
just
will be there
have one
alone.
problem.
It's shiny. I think.
Oh
I
yes,
don't
it is quite
know.
shiny. Golden.
Yeah, but I don't know Mr. Witch or Mr. Light.
Mm.
I only saw Clown. And then one other thing. I think it was Harry. And the others didn't look like they might be anyone. They were just running around, carrying stuff. Like,
Most likely
pretty
in their trailers. It is possible for you to raise the joy of the carnival. You get the joy all the way to what it's considered its maximum potential, you can get given an audience with Mr. Witch and Mr. Light.
Victor
Ooh. Out of character question, is that what the thing in the bottom right is?
Yes.
Okay.
It is.
Kind of upon hearing sort of like maxing out joy, Victor will just go, kind of motion to himself. I think you got your fella right here. I'll be able to put on a cracking show, just so long as Mr. Witch and Mr. Light are up for a bit of good sport.
Mr. Witch won't be there for the big top, but
I thought you said that they went everywhere together.
except for the big top.
All right, except for the big top. I see.
It's the only time when they will part, and Mr. Witch stays in his cubby hole. Mr. Light is there, though.
So, which trailer, which wagon is theirs? Or do they have each their own wagon?
They have each their own wagon, but I honestly could not tell you which is which. I've not actually been in their wagons. When I snuck by overhearing the conversation previously, well, they were in one wagon together. It was the red and white one.
Oh, that's where the clown was sitting.
Yes, he is the one that threw me out afterwards.
I thought clowns are supposed to make people happy. Why would he throw you out?
And why do they look so sad?
I mean,
Something. Who knows what that does?
honestly, Mike, depending on who you ask, clowns elicit all sorts of reactions from people. Some like them, like yourself, but no more than a couple that give them quite a fright.
Well, what is it how do you want to approach this?
Well, I imagine Lil Pix there is, I mean, she's a big girl, well, you know, figuratively. She'll be able to take care of herself.
Jimmy. I'm not big, but I'm old.
I said figuratively big. I know you're physically small, but anyway, that ain't the point. So, suppose we three go to this big top thing. I tried to get Mr. Light to engage in competition. We raise the joy up, and Lil Pix here tries to nab the pocket watch. I mean, anyone else got any better and brighter ideas?
Do you have a set of thieves' tools or something to cut a chain with? Speaking to Pixie.
Sorry, let me look it up. I think I do. It would not appear so.
You don't.
So completely out of character. I was sure I gave her people, but I don't have them, so I guess not.
Don't they come in the rogue starting?
Just about to say, I'm surprised you don't have those as standard for Rogue.
Unless you selected something else instead of them, possibly.
I selected the Rogue Starter Pack. Because I thought that was what... Yeah.
Well, we'll just assume that you dropped them at some point then.
Pigs, you're making me a bit nervous here. Have you got the tools in your bag?
Well...
Oh, I bet one of those bloody foxes nabbed them.
I didn't know if I packed them again last time.
Although, yeah, that is a point. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
You have to go and find somewhere to get either something to snip the chain with or a set of thieves' tools within this hour.
Right. Hang on a sec. What, you just need to... What do you kind of nip? Like some string or something?
metal chain.
Ah, metal chain. Right, yeah, sorry, I can't help you with that.
Sorry, I missed something. Is this for future events? So is this happening now? Are we trying to break a chain now, or is this
No.
what they're going to try and do?
Discussing what will happen.
I could like
Trim.
totally freeze it off or something, dudes. I don't know.
Yes, but you
cannot
can't fly in.
over, and I cannot carry you. You're too big.
Okay.
If you go amongst the stalls, I'm sure you'll be able to find something that'll do the job.
Okay, shopping time. And Pixie is off.
I think he looks towards Pixie going and back to everyone else.
Well, I mean, Lil Pix doesn't like to waste any time, and, well, as you said yourself, we've only got an hour, right?
Only an hour, then the big talk begins.
Alright, well, I reckon we don't really have much more to discuss in terms of the plan. I mean, it's either going to work out or it ain't.
Okay then. And if it doesn't, then, well, I guess I'll have to go and make some more explosions.
Well, let's not err on the side of pessimism now.
With that, she turns and starts to walk back towards the crowds.
Actually, one point, where will we find you later when we're ready?
Well, you don't particularly need me, do you, to perform?
Well,
I'll be in the crowds, don't worry. I'll find you when I need to.
Alright. Just so long as you don't go wandering off on us, I'll be fine if you just want to kind of mosey around for a bit.
With that, she turns a corner and is gone.